Blog Talk Radio.
Transition, the process of change from one condition to another.
We are now at a new crossroads where change is evident once again.
What does not serve us must transform us anew.
Returning to our original state of oneness and true nature of that which created who we truly are.
Confusion was the way of the past. Enlightenment is the way of the now and future. Shedding every the layers of deceit.
We now bring you the transformation of the two who started as one. Our fearless planet never stands still.
Earth has been in a process of transition. Not exactly remarkable, ongoing reality.
Welcome to Transition Radio.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us. My name's Mark Angelo Cummings, and I am your host.
And I'm Lena Lopez, and I'm your hostess.
We're broadcasting live from the wonderful, beautiful land of enchantment, Silver City, New Mexico. Yes, population 10,000, amazing nature trails.
Oh, yes.
And the weather is just fantastic.
We went for quite a good walk today.
Yes, we did. But it's all good. It's all part of the rehab. It's all making you stronger and feel better. And
today's health and fitness.
Yes, health and fitness.
Health
yes.
and nutrition.
But before we do that, we've got to do something.
Oh, yes. The breastformstore.com has everything you can imagine to enhance your feminizing needs.
Yes.
Check them out.
They are an amazing, have an amazing line of products, and they've been a constant sponsor for Transition Radio for almost 3 years now, so very grateful to the Breastform Store. And the added addition was SPUNK LUBE. Hey, it's award-winning, glycerin-free, fun-to-use, personal lubricant. Comes in all sorts of shape and colors and flavors. Our favorite is the silicone.
Awesome
product. Guys, please check out their website.
SpunkLube.com.
And if you put the code TR, you will receive a 10% discount, and every penny counts in this day and age as the economy continues to dwindle. But economy dwindling or not, it's important to exercise. It's very important to eat healthy. And today is health and nutrition segment, where we talk about state-of-the-art, new things for you to learn so you can keep fit and healthy.
Just common sense things as well, like our first topic is about how much exercise is enough. People are curious, I'm sure, to find out what is enough for them, and what type of exercise, if they are working out to lose weight or they're exercising just to get fit, there are different things that you need to do, right?
Right, and people have to be careful. Some people have that all or nothing approach, and then they overdo it, and then they get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And then they fall off the
warriors.
Yes. And it's like, what is your goal? What are you working out for?
Well, the first article is called How Much Exercise is Enough? Before you make a decision on how much exercise you need, you should have a good idea or goals. Are you exercising for physical fitness, weight control, or as a way of keeping your stress levels low?
And a lot of people don't think of these things. They always just think about working out to lose weight. And that's why they're always chasing their tail like a dog and never achieving their goal, because you need to be healthy. That's the number one thing. As your body becomes healthier, it will release the fat. And as you build more muscle and more stamina, your body will take the form and shape that you want. But if you're just chasing a dog's tail, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, are you also really supposed to be looking at your scale and stuff?
Not really. That's a big mistake we all make, because we're guilty of that. It's just like an instant gratification. Oh, look, I lost a pound.
Yeah.
But what you're really not looking at or really seeing is what kind of weight are you losing? Are you losing fat or are you losing muscle? If you're losing muscle, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because there goes your metabolism. And then your body automatically just wants to hold on to that fat. It's worried, hey, we're in trouble, let's just hold on to this.
Going into starvation mode.
Exactly. So the key is not to weigh yourself. Just look at how your clothes are fitting, how you're feeling, how you look when you look in the mirror. So how much do you really need? That's the question, right? Well, the answer is how much exercise is enough. For what? Asked David Bassett Jr., a PhD, a professor in the Department of Exercise, Sport, and Leisure Studies at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville.
For general health benefits, a routine of daily walking may be sufficient. Hey, that's what we did.
Yeah.
Says Susan Joy, MD, Director of the Women's Sports Health Program at the Cleveland Clinic.
If your goal is more specific, say to lower your blood pressure, improve your cardiovascular fitness, or lose weight, you'll need either more exercise or a higher intensity of exercise. So figure out your goals first, then determine what type of exercise will help you meet them and how much of that particular exercise you will need to do. And now the key is always keep your body guessing. Mix it up. Do different things. Challenge yourself.
So really don't do the same thing over and over because your body will then get used to it and won't perform at the high level.
Your body will get used to it, and then you won't see any results because your body goes, oh, yeah, we got this covered. It's just something that becomes routine.
It's that 1.5 hour walk around the block.
Yeah, so change it up, mix it up a little bit. Do intensity training, walk really fast for 5 minutes, and then slow it down, and just do different things, different terrains, things of that nature.
Right now, current exercise guidelines for Americans are set as, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, everyone needs 2 types of physical activity each week, aerobics and muscle strengthening activities. Aerobic activity involves repetitive use of the large muscles to temporarily increase heart rate and respiration. When repeated regularly, aerobic activity improves cardiorespiratory fitness. Running, brisk walking, swimming, and cycling are all forms of aerobic activity.
And aerobic means you're using oxygen, and your heart really and truly benefits from these type of activities as well. The other type of exercise is muscle strengthening activity. They're designed to work one or more muscle groups. All of the major muscle groups, your legs, your hips, your back, your abdomen, your chest, shoulders, and arms, should be worked on 2 or more days each week. Lifting weights, working with resistance bands, and doing push-ups are all forms of muscle strengthening activities.
Adults need at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity each week, in addition to muscle strengthening activities. If activity is more vigorous in intensity, 75 minutes a week may be enough. For even greater health benefits, though, more activity is better. 300 minutes of moderate intensity activity or 150 minutes of vigorous intensity activity, or a mix of the two.
It's best to be active throughout the week rather than concentrating all of your physical activity in one day. That means 30 to 60 minutes of exercise 5 days a week. You can break it up into even smaller chunks, 3 brief periods of physical activity a day. For example, in order for it to be effective in improving health and fitness, you need to be sure to sustain the activity for at least 10 minutes at a time.
And the difference is, in exercising to lose weight, you have to follow these guidelines, or is what they recommend. A combination of dieting and exercise is more effective for weight loss than just dieting alone. To lose weight, 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity on most days is recommended. Physical activity is also important to maintain weight loss. Moderate intensity physical activity for 60 to 90 minutes on most days will help maintain weight loss. Of course, a healthful, low-calorie diet, really? Low-calorie?
No.
Is also important for both losing and maintaining weight. Fruit, the amount of, I went Canadian there.
Yeah.
The amount of exercise you need for weight loss or weight control depends on what you eat, as well as on the type of exercise you choose.
Now, there are different lines of theories here, and obviously this is the line of theory that eat less and you'll burn and you'll lose weight. Well, that is the wrong advice to be given. Diets don't work. And, we select certain articles. We don't agree with everything they say. We just want to share with you, and then we give you our input. It's important that you exercise and maintain a healthy eating habit. Eating foods that are nutritionally sound, that aren't just dead calories. Diet foods don't work. When you hear low fat, fat free, cholesterol free, sugar free, all these free stuff and in a package is not the kind of foods you want to eat. You want to eat real food. Fruits, vegetables. Occasional brown rice, if you're not raw vegan, occasional potatoes, beans, things that are real and coming from the ground is what's going to help your body heal. And once your body starts to heal and your metabolism improves and becomes efficient, your body will lose the fat and you will maintain and build solid, good muscle that you need to protect your bones and everything else.
Any kind of food that probably turns moldy is probably good for you, right? Just about.
Well, there are certain molds that are beneficial.
Right.
And there are certain molds that will kill you. I'm highly allergic to penicillin, by the way, so
I won't inject you.
No, don't. Nothing that's moldy I would really trust because you'd be a widow before we got even married. So that would be a good thing. But yeah, I mean.
Oh, I thought you were announcing something. I was like, what?
No, not yet.
No idea. Okay. Well, eating moldy foods, is it okay?
No, for many foods, it actually is okay to just cut away the mold and eat the rest, says Leslie Bonsi, Director of Sports Nutrition at the Center for Sports Medicine at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center.
But, she says, some molds can be quite toxic to the body. You can develop respiratory symptoms, gastrointestinal symptoms, and sometimes allergies. Some are very dangerous.
Yeah, like I said, especially if you're allergic to antibiotics, and I'm highly allergic to most antibiotics, and that's what most antibiotics are made from.
That's weird.
That is very well. Anyway, and while you might think that mold on blue cheese, which gets its color from a certain kind of beneficial mold, might be okay, it isn't if the mold is any other color than blue. Bonzi says to cut around it.
Parmesan cheese.
Shutterstock.
Hard foods that are safe if you pare away the bad spots.
They are carrots.
Firm cheeses.
Pears.
It's harder for the mold to penetrate these foods, Bonsi says.
With softer foods, including soft cheeses, you can't assume when you cut away that moldy part that you're completely gotten rid of it, because the mold spores travel.
So if you've got some grapes and there's mold on a couple of them, throw them away.
And expensive they are. $2.99 a pound. It's crazy. Bonsi lists of food that are okay to eat once you remove the mold are
mold on hard fruit/veggies. Cut about half an inch around the mold to get rid of it.
And you have the hard cheeses. Cut about a half to 1 inch around the mold. Rewrap cheese with new covering. Don't keep the same covering.
For those non-vegan, hard salami/dried cured ham. It's okay to use. Mold adds flavor to salami. Can scrub the mold off the coating of the ham.
Gorgonzola, blue cheese. Cut out the moldy spot.
Once you've cut away the bad part and eaten your fill, don't put the food back. I mean, that's gross.
Yeah.
Into the same package you took it out of.
That's full of mold and the spores.
There could be traces of mold left behind that will contaminate the cheese.
Yes. You should also clean the entire vegetable bin if you found a piece with mold on it.
These are not okay, even if there's just a bit of mold.
So throw it away. Dry camembert.
Hot dogs.
You shouldn't be eating hot dogs anyway. Bacon, nonetheless. Oh.
Casserole.
Leftovers.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Pasta.
Jams and jellies.
Yogurt and sour cream.
Lunch meat.
Soft fruits, veggies, even mold on orange rinds.
Any kind of cooked meats.
Oh, bread and baked goods.
Sliced shredded cube cheese.
Nuts and nut butters.
And don't just depend on your eyes, okay, Bonsi says. Bologna does not have to be all grass or gray fuzz on it to be toxic. For example, by the time the furry growth is seen on the surface, deep roots may have penetrated the food.
I'm so glad we ate already.
Yeah, I know.
If anything tastes musty, it's a pretty good indicator that there's mold in there, she adds.
Yeah, and finally, according to the USDA, you can minimize mold growth by doing the following.
Using leftovers within 3 to 4 days.
I know people leave their leftovers in the fridge for weeks. Cleaning your refrigerator every few months with 1 tablespoon of baking soda dissolved in a quart of water.
Scrubbing visible mold using 3 teaspoons of bleach in a quart of water.
I'm assuming that means in the refrigerator, not in your fridge.
I would say
the mold doesn't kill you, the bleach will.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, many of you are probably runners and have questions on what you should eat before, during, and after a run.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
You know, when I was running the last 3 years, I mean, I was looking up stuff on Runner's World and trying to find out what activities were best for me, you know, and stuff like that. This is a great article. Before your run, it's important to eat a light snack about an hour before your run that's rich in carbs and has a little protein. Joy Bauer, today's nutrition and health editor, recommends any of the following.
A banana and string cheese. Forget the string cheese. Banana.
An orange and a small handful of almonds. Keep both of those.
Yeah, those are good. Granola bar, I'm a little iffy on that one.
A cup of whole grain cereal with a little bit of skim milk.
Yeah, that's totally thrown off the window. Just eat tons of fruit.
Yeah.
Like the fruitarian Mike, the runner,
That's right.
he's broken all records just
Mark
by...
Einstein.
Yeah, he just broke all sorts of records with just eating fruits and veggies. Now, during your run, when you're running for an extended period of time, it's important to refuel as you go, and fortunately, there are plenty of products in the market designed to give athletes a burst of energy. Why not just plain fruit? If you're stressed over which gel, chews, glues, and blocks to eat while you run, running coach John Honkamp has some advice. It doesn't really matter.
It's just what works best for you, he said. There's no right or wrong. He recommends trying a few different types of energy products as you train for a long race so that on race day, you know exactly what works best for you.
After your run, that's, recuperation time. When you finish a long run, Joy recommends eating some sort of carbohydrates and a little protein within an hour, as these will help your muscle recovery and energy level. This type of snacks could be
the sports drink,
a nutrition bar,
an apple with a little bit of peanut butter.
You don't want to overstuff yourself, she said, and definitely hydrate. Well, I agree with the hydrate. Sports drinks are blah. Nutritional bars are full of all sorts of preservatives. An apple is good. Don't do the peanut butter because fat and fruits really don't mix that well. Just eat a ton of bananas or just papaya. Watermelon is awesome. It's just like...
I don't know about carrying a papaya during a run. I mean, that's a pretty heavy fruit.
You just cut it up in bits and pieces.
And where do you put
it? Just where Michael...
In your hat? I mean...
Well, you have a little backpack saying...
Oh, so you're running with a backpack?
Yeah, he runs with that.
Oh, a fanny pack?
No, a backpack.
Wow.
Yeah, it gives you that extra weight and resistance.
So, okay, but for running, it's important that you keep on fueling up, because I remember that when I was running, I'd do like a 10-mile run. About 5 miles in, I would feel like tired.
Yeah. Well, dates are good. Dry fruits.
But I mean, regardless of what kind of food we're putting in, I'm just thinking that people just think that they can just carry a water, to hydrate themselves.
Not if you're going to do long distance running. You need to continue because you're using up all the calories. Especially as a long-distance runner. You need dates, raisins, things that are going to give you a lot of the dry fruits.
I remember that when I did run, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm like totally conked out here. I don't really have more energy, and I'd get stuck just about, and I couldn't run anymore because I was just too tired.
Because you've used up all your energy resource.
So that's when I would go into the convenience store and buy myself a smoothie or something, right? There you go.
It's important to be healthy. Health is one of those things that wards off disease. And one of the diseases that we're going to be talking about in our next segment here is cancer. Now, we think of cancer, the first thing that happens with cancer is we have to go through chemo. Or those that go, I would never go that route. I would go the natural approach.
Because chemo just kills
everything. It kills everything. Chemo, radiation.
The cancer.
It kills everything, all the good and bad and the ugly. And then there is no chance that you will survive, and then you're just totally gone through the mill. I had a patient or a client of mine who had lung cancer, went through the whole therapy of chemo and stuff, still died. And a poor person just went through hell. But anyway, this particular individual had her hair got removed from the chemo. She had to wear a wig, and I guess she wasn't wearing a wig when she entered Walmart.
Well, Walmart employees, they said something to her that wasn't very nice because, I mean, this is a woman, you know, and they were questioning her gender.
Yes.
And gender's been in the news a lot lately with regards to trans issues and stuff like that, and the bathroom issue.
Well, it's not just trans people that deal with bathroom issues.
It's not, but that's the problem that we have in society today, is that they always seem to be looking at looks.
Yeah.
You know?
What's outside.
Yeah, what's on the outside. Well, this Louisiana woman who recently finished her last round of chemo said Walmart employees mocked her appearance last week when she used the restroom while shopping.
You know, Walmart, talking about Walmart, my ex, Jessica, we were going into Walmart, and one of the employees was laughing and talking to another employee, and I proceeded to look at Jessica and snickering, and, you know, and it's like very rude. So Walmart does need major sensitivity training, as do many other companies and corporations. Well, all of a sudden, these two employees come bursting in saying, "Sir, you can't be in here. Sir, you can't be in here." Jonna Moore Utzman, a breast cancer patient, told KNOE-TV. They started laughing, and they went out.
How rude.
Very rude.
Utzman, a married mother of one, lost her hair from undergoing radiation treatments for breast cancer. It was like to add insult to injury.
Yes. I mean, it's bad enough that you are missing your breast, and women are very attached to that part. It's their womanhood.
Right.
And that's why FTMs remove their breasts, because we think that pretty much correlates to being a woman, so we remove that. We think we're no longer a woman. Yeah, exactly. But some people, you know, they don't have a choice. And
she said the same employees came back into the women's restroom and continued mocking her.
That was a woman? She looked like a man, Utzman recalled them saying.
A Walmart representative said the company apologized to Utzman and does not tolerate such behavior, the TV station reported.
Both employees have been suspended while the incident is investigated, the representative said. How do you investigate that kind of incident?
I don't know. What's the investigation about? The woman was really offended.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just sensitivity training. That's what needs to be done.
Utzman said she remains positive in her fight against cancer, and she hopes her experience reminds others to be more compassionate.
I didn't ask to go through 8 chemo treatments that caused me to lose my hair, she said. I didn't ask for the insomnia or the fear that this god-awful disease may one day return. The sad thing is, you know, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but majority of people who do undergo chemo, the cancer returns. There's a reason for cancer. There's something the person is doing. It could be genetic. It could be your eating habits. It could be your lack of dealing with stress. You know, your cells respond to everything, your emotional activity, what you're putting in, chemicals that you surround yourself with. And if you don't remove the thing that brought the cancer in the first place, it'll come back.
It's going to come right back, yeah.
And it's just pretty sad.
Well, here's what she had to say about this.
Was a woman. She looked like a man. It was not the first time Jonna Utzman was mistaken for a man. No, and I'm not the only one this has happened to, I'm sure. In fact, she knows of one other person for sure, her mother. Watching her go through some humiliation when people also thought she was a man. Seeing her mother battle breast cancer could never truly prepare Jonna for the same fight. Her first thought when she was diagnosed last year wasn't about losing her hair or being laughed at. That I wouldn't live to see my son into adulthood. For the best chance of watching her son grow old, Jonna decided to voluntarily have a double mastectomy. And did you feel like you were a different person? implement sensitivity training, have a cancer patient in there with their good hair on, and then when everybody sits down, have the cancer patient walk up there, take their wig off, and start talking. And Jonna is ready to lead that discussion. I'm ready. Woohoo! She's spoken to corporate representatives from Walmart and say they are taking a closer look at their employee handbook. I accept nothing less than for this to be used for good. Until permanent changes are made, Jonna will continue to share her story to make a difference. Jillian.
Well, this is really heartbreaking because she didn't ask to get cancer. This was not a choice for her. And she's being ridiculed for looking like a man because of having short hair.
Well, she had issues with this because she was familiarized with it because what her mother went through. Cancer does that. It takes away what the woman has is that crown of hair that is her glory.
That and breasts. They see flat chest.
It's so sad that people cannot just respect people for who they are. And this is a genetic woman.
And I know that trans people, we think we have it really hard, that we're the only ones that get discriminated against, but technically the entire world gets discriminated against. If you're overweight, you get discriminated against. If you have some sort of disability, you limp, you're blind, you're deaf, you're born with a cleft palate, any kind of disability, people are cruel and they make fun of you and they bully you.
Just the fact that you had to wear glasses. I remember growing up. What's the big word that they would use?
Four eyes. Yes.
It's like, as if you could do anything about it.
Exactly.
Certain things are just genetic, and they had nothing. It's so sad that people have to pick on the things that really don't matter.
That are different. And one of the biggest bullies right now is the conservatives. They're doing everything within their power. They're being bullies to try not to let people live their lives. What's this pizza place that had...
Memories Pizza.
Memories Pizza. Indiana. They decided they weren't going to serve pizza for a wedding. Like, what gay, reputable individual is going to have pizza for their wedding?
Let's have pizza.
That shows you how much these Christians really know about gay people.
It's really sad. But they said that, if a gay person walked into their establishment, 2 guys, 2 girls, or whatever, then they would not serve them. But if someone came into their establishment and was like a different religion, oh, no problem.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But, what we heard, their business is suffering for it. They've had to close down because the majority of attacks they've received in social media, on their website, on their on the Yelp site that talks about them. They have a Facebook page. And I said to you earlier,
they're going to be shut down.
They got to be shut down because, the gay community is one thing about the LGB, very, very unified. Unlike the trans community, of course. But that's why the gay community gets results.
Right.
And I tell this to my brothers and sisters in the trans community, pay attention to what the gay community does, do it like they're doing it, and maybe we'll get that same respect if we learn to unify and stick together. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for Friday, and Friday is spirituality and relationships.
That's right.
Yeah, so...
That's always a good one.
That's always a great one. And thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for next Friday. Guys, have a great evening. And if you can't live your truth,
then it's just not worth living.
Not at all. Good night, folks.